If I could have a video go viral, this would be it. I could just make endless content about organizing your time. And it's not even all about productivity. When you organize your time right, productivity inherently happens, and then you have time to chill or relax, or start a side hustle or a hobby, read books, whatever it may be. So I'm very passionate about this episode, and I almost made this be the first one in our Homemaking by Heart series. But I really wanted to take the time to unpack it, and so here we are, episode 4. If you're just joining me today, welcome. I'm Megan. I'm a homemaker. I have 4 kids, and I do a lot with my time. People ask me how I get everything done, and today I'm going to peel back the curtain a little bit and show you how I live life productively, but I still have fun. And so that's what it's all about today. Just some quick highlights. I do housework about 2 hours a day. I have fun with my kids about 2 hours a day. I run a business about 3 hours a day. I cook every day, but maybe half an hour in the kitchen to an hour at the most when I'm cooking. So yeah, we'll continue to break down some of those aspects in future videos, but today I want to talk a little bit about my methods, and I will say my method works in all areas of life. I was just looking back on Canva, and I used to make this my job when I had just started YouTube and I only had 2 kids, a baby and a toddler. I made up my whole own schedule that I tweaked and tried out, and I didn't let the schedule boss me, but I tried different things, and when I figured out a rhythm that worked for my family, I stuck with it most of the time, and that's how I was able to get so much done in a week and still have time for fun and living life. This video is also gonna be a little bit of a Valentine's-y theme because I have a party planned for this weekend, and my goal is to share it with you guys a little bit early, and hopefully you can recreate this with your friends if you have the time and the margin in your life to do a little hosting. So stick around for all of that. A pop and PJs party, I think it's gonna be great. So yeah, you can kind of consider this your little pre-Valentine's episode, but I wanted to try these chocolate croissants from Trader Joe's. I never let my kids get up in the morning and eat pastries for breakfast, but it felt like a special morning. Evonnie asked if we could, and I said sure. I went to bed last night with anxiety or feeling anxious, and then I woke up this morning in January to a sunrise that was beyond gorgeous, and there was a rainbow. A rainbow in January. No rain, but there was a rainbow. I think croissants are so good because of that bitter chocolate. So I will say, I think the most successful weeks start with a day of rest on Sunday. If you do not implement this, I am just such a big advocate of regrouping and refreshing yourself the first day of the week. God gave us Sundays for a reason. He made it for us, not for him. And so I think it's only hurting ourselves if we're not observing it. But pretty much every Sunday afternoon, especially in the winter, I will curl up on my green couch in my sun porch, and I will get out my planner. I'm not gonna give you my whole planner sales pitch speech, but I do have some really beautiful planners available on my website. They're planners like you've never seen before, so just go check them out. Anyway, I sit down and I plan out my week. I plug things in. I look and just get an overall sense. Is this a crazy week, or is this a more chill week and I have time for maybe some extracurriculars, some other fun side quests like a PJ and pop party, you know? But I think the best thing you can do with your planning, if it starts to feel overwhelming, is, we talked about it 2 weeks ago with all the organizing and everything. The first step to anything, I feel like, is decluttering and minimizing. If you already feel stressed out, maybe look at your schedule, things that are happening outside your home. What can you cut out? If you're a mom of young children, that's probably not gonna be a big issue, having too many outside things on your plate, but it's still something to consider. And don't feel obligated just because it's been the same way for years and years. You always went to your mom on Wednesdays or whatever. If it feels too crazy and too busy, you might have to streamline a little bit, but obviously prioritize what's the most important. And I know our slogan for this series is creating sanity, safety, and simplicity without sacrifice, but in some ways there is some compromises or sacrifices that you sometimes have to make in certain seasons of life, but they don't need to feel like sacrifices if you make the right choices and the right compromises. And maybe that's like doing a grocery pickup instead of indoor shopping, or not washing your bed sheets every single week like you used to when you only had 1 child. There's definitely growing pains as your life gets fuller and more busy and you have more children, and your standards, they don't need to slip, but certain things become less paramount to you, if you know what I mean. And yeah, I have a sister who is such a perfectionist, and then she had twin boys after 2 other little boys. She had 4 and under, and she quickly learned, your mindset definitely has to shift, and it does. It just inherently happens. She's still very much the best housekeeper I know. She's on top of it, but it's not the same as it was back when she just had 1. So be realistic with your parameters, your capabilities, and streamline any of your schedule that you can. You can also look for getting help. I didn't talk about this really in any of my videos before, but my sister comes over 2.5 hours a week, and I would not have her do that except for I have a business, and so it's just, I have to do that if I want to you know, nap times aren't quite enough. So asking for help can feel really rough. Of course I pay her, so it's a little different, but even if you're a postpartum mom and you feel like you're really maxed out, be creative. Think about maybe a young teen or even like a homeschool girl that would love to get some domestic experience, you know, a couple times a week. If your mom's offering to come over and help, let her do it, you know? And that's just for like short seasons. I would not say that you need to think of it as this lifelong commitment. But yeah, get over that little stigma of needing help. Sometimes we cannot do it all ourselves. So anyway, enough chatting. I am going to finish my croissant here, take you throughout my day. I'd like to show and not just tell, so you can look forward to a day of my life in this video. Homemaking by heart. So I challenge you to take an audit of your housekeeping time. I know so many of you probably feel like it takes all day. You're just doing housework, cleaning, laundry, picking up, cooking all day long. But I really challenge you to take an audit and see where you actually are doing the work and how long you are making it take. And then, this is gonna sound super radical, but I want you to try to cut that time in half. Okay, that sounds crazy. Maybe the first week, try cutting it down by an hour. And then I think it's not an exaggeration to say there are many of us that could cut our homemaking time in half. I'm gonna give you lots of practical tips throughout this episode and into the coming ones. Next week, I wanna do a whole video on how I save time in the kitchen because I really do not spend a ton of time in my kitchen, even though I do love to cook. And I actually think that's why I like to cook, because I've learned to streamline things and I'm not in the kitchen a ton. I'm not held prisoner. I also think it'd be good for you to think about when you have the most energy. And I think a lot of us are the same way, where we wake up in the morning and it takes a little bit to get firing on all cylinders, but after that, our mornings are probably our most productive, most cognitively with it time of day. And so I talked about my morning routine in depth in our first episode of this series, so you can go back and listen to that. But I'm gonna give you real numbers here. From about 7:30 to 8, I get dressed, get going for the day. I always get dressed. That's the only way to have a good day, in my opinion. Get dressed and comb your hair. I'm not really a makeup girl, but the dressing and combing is such a need. And you saw me already making my bed this morning. That's not an every single day thing, but I've heard it said that some people really notice the difference if they do not make their bed for the day, that it's just not a good day. So I guess experiment with that for yourself. But after my older kids are on the bus and off for school, I basically become a preschool mom of two, a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old. And so after I'm dressed for the day, I will tidy up in the kitchen, bumble around, empty the dishwasher. There's a really good tip you should be doing if you are not already, which is starting your dishwasher every evening. If it's not completely full, you can find something to put in there. Throw in a container that you use for organizing, or a soap dish from your bathroom, maybe a small trash can. There's so many ways you can fill up your dishwasher if it's not full, but mine usually always is, and I run it overnight. So in the morning, I'm left with all these dishes just to put away. And it's something my brain hardly needs to really be engaged with. This is happening usually from 7:30 to 8, and I will have earbuds in, usually listening to a podcast or a sermon, just something to kind of start me waking up for the day and enriching my life a little bit of personal development before I even do anything else. Say truck. Say shoes. Say goofball. Goofball, you're a goofball.
Say book. Say book.
Stripes?
Say book.
Yeah.
Say book. Yeah.
Can you say burp?
No.
No.
About.
I wanted to let you know how I do laundry in this video. I'm not gonna make a whole episode just about laundry because, let's be honest, that would be boring. But I started something new in the past 6 months, which is I pretty much sort my laundry with my eyes shut. Let me explain. So I am definitely a 1 load a day girl. I really like that. On Mondays, sometimes I'll do 2 loads, but for the most part, I have a 4-bin laundry system here. Whichever one's the fullest is the one that I run. Sometimes I will get my 6 or my 8-year-old involved, which is super nice. They both know how to sort laundry now, the Megan way, which, let me tell you, this is just by texture. So I used to do it by like person kind of, and I realized I have like boys' jeans in with t-shirts and my sweaters and stuff, and that was not smart. So I'm not about color as much as I am about texture. So the first bin on the left is always Josh's heavy duty work pants and the boys' jeans. Now that they're getting older, you know, they have these nice sturdy denim jeans. So all the sturdy pants go there and it fills up. And then the next bin is towels and washcloths and dishcloths because that's the same texture. The next bin is anything what I will call delicate. That's t-shirts, tops, Evonnie's dresses, my dresses. Not my denim skirts, they would go with the denim section, but pretty much anything that when you touch it, it feels soft. The socks go in this one, although some people could maybe put their socks with the towels or with the jeans. Totally up to you. But as I'm going through the laundry basket, I literally could probably do it with my eyes shut because I'm feeling by texture mostly. And it's a whole different part of your brain that you need to activate. And then the last bin is, that's for whites, like if I have sheets. Honestly, it doesn't get filled up very fast, so if I have a really fancy churchy white sweater that's sitting in there, or Evonnie's white top she wears under her jumpers, I'll sometimes just cap it off with some white bedding just to fill up that load. So whites don't get washed very often at all. I would say the delicate section gets washed probably every other day, once a week, twice a week, towels once or twice a week, and then the whites definitely only once a week at most. But if you put a load of laundry in the morning, and then switch it to the dryer in an hour or two, you're ready to fold it and put it away by nap time in the afternoon. I know some people that like to do this in the evenings, start it at night, and then in the morning they're ready with their fresh load. I did this for a while, but it didn't work for me. And that's the beauty of this. Please try some of these things I'm suggesting. And then if it doesn't work for you, don't be like, oh, Megan doesn't know what she's talking about. Just be like, that was not for me. Moving on, I'm gonna try something else. And that's what I loved about being a new mom. I put in the effort, I put in the work, I tried all the things, and I have found a system now that I love and I want to promote to you guys, and I want everybody else to try it too. But it might not work for you. But I hope this is getting you inspired and also showing you how my brain thinks and works so that we can absolutely cut down our homemaking to about 2 hours a day. Because, as I said, even with getting the kids breakfast and dressed for the day, the laundry, the tidying up, because I don't go to bed with my house completely tidy, all of those usual regular things I am usually done by 10 o'clock in the morning. So from 8 to 10, I'm just doing the basic housekeeping to keep the house functioning, making it look acceptable and presentable. People can stop in, whatever. And then from 10 to 12, that's discretionary housework for me. That's a different layer. My brain has woken up. I'm a little more with it. And that's when I like to do maybe an organization project or a deep clean of the bathroom. Whatever project has been burning on the back burner, kind of like project time is what I will call it, goes in this slot. Also, I do work out 3 days a week, so sometimes this project slot does not happen at all. And instead my project is working out, which I think is absolutely an amazing thing to do with your time. But as you can see, by 10 o'clock in the morning, all of my must-dos are done. I could sit down on the sofa and not do anything else the rest of the day, and life would be okay. I mean, I'd have to put some chicken nuggets in the air fryer for the kids for lunch and that kind of thing, but we would survive. Okay, it's 9:58. I got my housework done for the day. I also washed out the sink and wiped out the microwave, just a couple extra things that I just saw that needed to be done while I was doing the work. None of that was in my plan. It's all intuitive, just cleaning by sight and what I see and doing what needs to be done and whatever's in front of my face. So basically laundry, tidy up, wiping things down. It's almost 10 o'clock and I want to get to my project for the day. So like I said, if I am with it and stick to it and give myself that deadline, you know, I have 2 hours to just bust out the housework. It is amazing how much you can get done. Now here I am, 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm ready to start something new or creative or something that can't immediately be undone. Yesterday with this time, I organized my son's drawers and went through all of his outgrown clothing. Some days I'll use this as a time to like deep clean our bedroom or taking down decor or decorating a new space, organizing the van, cleaning out the van. Like it's not fun stuff necessarily, but it's like projects that if I was sick that day, they wouldn't have to get done, you know? So project time is what I will call it, even though project sounds a lot more fun than what it is sometimes. You know, if this is summertime, maybe this could be weeding your garden or whatever. Actually, it's probably better done early in the morning. But yeah, you get the gist. You have the essentials get done first, and then if you have time, which you're going to, because you're gonna give yourself a deadline, then you can go on to the next thing. So if you're a homeschool mom, this applies a little differently. But I'm sure there are still things that can apply to you as well. But this is what I've done from being a toddler mom all the way till now, being a toddler mom during the day, but a mom of 4 in the evenings. So before I show you what I'm gonna be doing with this giant roll of brown paper, I wanna show you something that saved a lot of time and added to our lives in the last several years. And that is having a Thrive Market subscription. I am mostly a Walmart and Aldi shopper, and then I also like to go to a couple different Mennonite bulk food stores and stuff in the area occasionally, but I have learned to lean on my Thrive membership for healthier snacks and just better pantry staples. They have so many good things on there, and they're always a better price than in the grocery store. It is a subscription, but right now, if you want to check Thrive out for the first time for yourself, you can get 30% off by going to thrivemarket.com/meganfoxunlocked. And when you use that link, you're also gonna get a free gift that's valued up to $60. So I just thought I would show you some of my favorites. I just ordered a very typical box for myself, and I wanna show you just some of the goodies that I get on the regular. Now, we don't have any dietary restrictions currently, but there's a tab there that you can completely sort by gluten-free or whatever you need. Also, I like to use the deals tab and just see what they have running because there's so many good sales. I've discovered so many new products through that tab that I now reoccurringly buy. So definitely have a look around in there. Use that code, see if you like it. It comes right to your door. And it's just, I love to fix it and forget it and move on. And like I said, the prices are always better. If you do not save with them, they're gonna give you your money back. So it's really a no risk, but let me show you some of my favorites. I like to get their go-go squeezes. Could have got these particular ones at Walmart probably, but they were 30% off on Thrive. My baby loves those. And then I love this brand of pasta sauce. So I wanted to try this new one, tomato basil. You can see we're gonna be having pasta this week. We've had this brand before and we've had this brand before, and I was reading the reviews, which are so nice to have reviews on Thrive because you can see what people think. And this one did not have great reviews and I loved it. So I was kind of confused, so I got this one as well, so we can kind of put them back to back and try them out. Chopsticks for lunches, probably should have got another bag. I love their fruit snacks and their lollipops from Thrive because like I said, we don't have dietary restrictions, but I like to go for whole foods when I can, and especially what I really try to watch out for is the no food dyes. So this has no food dyes. And then in my weaker moments, I will give my kids boxed mac and cheese. Probably, I would say every 3 months they get it and they just love it. It's like quite the treat. So Annie's might not be a health food, but at least it's made with real cheese. So check out my link down below. That's gonna give you 30% off, plus a free gift valued up to $60. So I know how it is when you try something new. It's nice to have a little push to just try it out, and that's a great deal. So thank you, Thrive, for partnering with me on today's video. And yes, I am sitting on my kitchen table at the moment because it's about to become a craft table. And then sometime throughout my morning, I like to make sure to get my supper prep done. There's nothing worse than trying to cook supper when everybody's hangry, things are happening, the kids are home, trying to get their homework signed or whatever they need done. Josh is coming in from work. It's just a chaotic hour or two of the day, so I like to do any prep ahead of time that I can in the morning. Tonight we're gonna have steak and mushrooms, and then I have these tired looking potatoes that I wanna use up. So I'm gonna make potato wedges. This is a family favorite. They're so easy, and I can cut them up ahead of time, put them in cold water, have them in the fridge, ready to go. All the knife work is done, and all I have to do is sprinkle them with a bunch of seasonings, and they are just delicious. We already had them once this week, and I'm excited for them again. So I recently have a new friend, and she is Mormon, which is very interesting because there's a lot of similarities and a lot of differences as well. We were together on New Year's Eve and everybody wanted iced coffees, but she did not have one. She is Mormon, they don't drink coffee. So we got on the whole discussion of like the coffee culture here in Lancaster and how it's like such a big thing. And she was telling us all about swig and the whole soda culture out there. And I have made lots of dirty sodas in my life. I take them along to Christmas with Josh's family. And so, oh, laundry's done. And I was like, brainchild, I'm gonna have a play date. We're gonna have a soda bar. We're gonna make it Valentine's themed. I love a theme. Here is the invitation I sent them on WhatsApp. I told them to wear PJs and to bring something heart-shaped to share for lunch. So I really don't have to spend a ton of time, except I thought I'm gonna go the extra mile when it comes to decorating the soda bar. And so I've seen all of these birthday banners, people painting them for birthdays. And so I decided I'm gonna do that for the soda pop parties. So we're gonna see how this goes. It's probably gonna be a couple day thing. It's painting involved and stuff, but I wanted to at least get it cut out and get the process started today. And then around 12, whenever we're done with lunch, you know, I don't actually have a set schedule. This is just like a kind of routine throughout the day. I'm trying to give you timestamps to give you an idea of how it usually is. But yeah, around then we'll stop and move on to the next segment of our morning. Okay, I didn't get quite as far as I wanted to, but we're taking a little lunch break here. We never eat at a certain time. It's just like whenever the day there's a break or the food's ready, or often for lunch we'll just do like pickles and cheese and meat, because I pack the kids' lunches for school most days, and so having those quick and easy things like meat sticks and stuff in the fridge is just kind of what we do. Basically a charcuterie board lunch a lot of the time. Sometimes leftovers, but yeah, often it's meat, cheese, veggies. My son loves bell peppers, so I try to lean into any healthy foods that they love. I rarely sit down to eat lunch with them. That's our supper time thing. But today I just randomly decided we're having this pesto pasta because the Thrive box just looked really good and I wanted to try out the pesto. Boys, what do you think? Is it good? Do you like the green noodles? Did you try them? And the chicken?
No, it's work day.
It's work.
It's work day.
It's a work day? Yeah, isn't every day a work day? Except which one? Sunday. Sunday is a rest day. Yeah, and the pasta's good too. I mean, no complaints. Josh just stopped in between two jobs. That's always fun. People are gonna start thinking you work from home. Stopping point here. It is 11:55. I'm just getting things put away. I don't have set reset times or anything throughout the day. I'm just constantly picking things up as I go. After each meal, I'll either put the dishes in the dishwasher or the sink. Sometimes I'll wash them right then and there, but often if just a few, I'll wait until the evening and wash the cutting board or whatever I happen to make dirty making lunch at supper time. As long as it's in the sink, I feel like it doesn't clutter up my mind or my house, and so that's fine with me. But yeah, just kind of making sure we're not leaving the house until everything's reset for meals and stuff. So that brings us to our fun block, I guess you could say. You can see how I run my life in kind of blocks. I do not run by the clock necessarily. It's just kind of when things naturally flow. And we're gonna leave the house. I need to run to the grocery store to get mushrooms. I think that's all I need. With two little boys, it doesn't seem that hard, and I like to make sure I keep that going out muscle intact. We didn't go to the gym today, and my 4-year-old really loves to go away and explore. And again, we have that vacation mindset from 12 to 2, where we are not really productive at all. That's not the goal. Yes, I have some tasks to do. We want to go to the library, I want to stop at the grocery store, but we're gonna make an adventure out of it. If we see somebody taking down a tree or construction happening, a tractor in the field, we might just pull over and watch for a little bit. Or in the grocery store, I told you I need mushrooms, that's it. But we're not gonna just zip in and zip out necessarily. Maybe we'll go over to the produce section and pick up some bananas yet, or talk to the sample lady that's often there. We are running errands. I like to do the most essential things first, like dropping off things at the post office or the grocery run or whatever, and then today's really cold. We're not gonna play at the park, but that's something else we like to do. We're gonna go to the library and we'll just eat up the rest of the time at the library, however much time we have. Or if they're not behaving well, you know, we could leave at any point, but that's the plan. And then we'll just make sure we're home in time for nap time. So, which for our family is at 2 o'clock. Down for their naps. It's 2:08. This is where I would normally make myself a fancy coffee drink, or if I didn't have a chance to eat lunch, I would sit down and have a solo lunch while they're napping. Oh, it's wonderful. But I did eat earlier when we had the pasta and I'm not hungry. And sadly, I'm not feeling a coffee drink right now. I usually make myself one about 3 times a week. I had one yesterday, but I promise I will show you in this series my favorite coffee recipe at some point in here. I make them fancy. I make them extra. They're so good. Anyway, but I thought I still need a little treat, right? So I'm gonna eat another one of these Swedish candies. If you guys watched the first installment of this series, you have seen where we got these in Lancaster City and the whole backstory tradition behind Swedish candy. Also, right before nap time, I like to sit at the end of the hallway and sort whatever laundry I did for the day, toss everything on the right pile, and then the kids know how to put things away. I do a no-fold system for the little guys. They don't have to fold their clothes. It just goes in the proper drawer. You know, Evonnie does her own hanger wash. She's done that since she was 4, I believe, and yeah, it's really nice and easy. If there's towels and washcloths, I'll usually get the big kids to do that. So I'm really only folding Josh's stuff, my stuff. I said at the beginning of this video how it's important to take kind of an audit of your energy levels, and this is definitely where mine tend to dip. Right around nap time, it's afternoon, you know, my belly's full, kids are napping, the house is quiet. And from 2 to 5 for me is when I run my side business. And for you, that's a great thing. You could do a side hustle, whatever. There is definitely sacrifices when you decide to start a small business, but YouTube has blessed us so much in so many ways. It's my hobby, it's my passion, and I just love it. And I love the connections that we've made here on YouTube. But if you're not running a side hustle over nap time, which I know a lot of you guys are, which is really exciting, I would say don't spend more than 10-15 minutes running around and finishing up anything that loose ends that did not happen, you know, before nap time. I'd love to have the house cleaned up by now. We're right on track today, which is wonderful, but I like to have everything cleaned up. And that way when Josh comes home, it feels like we're ready to go. We're ready to start the evening. More messes will be made this evening and the house will look crazy again, which is fine. It's just the nature of life. It's signs of life in your home. But after that initial run around doing loose ends, whatever you need to do, sit down, read a book. Some people like to exercise over this time if that's something that you haven't done yet for the day and you want to. Maybe do some social media, catch up on Instagram or whatever if that's your thing. This segment here is really why you should be watching this whole series, so that you have time for other things. You know, we do not need to spend all day doing our housework. This is where you can take a nap, have a hobby, make something. Maybe you want to cook solo without the kids at your elbow. I like to work with my kids around because it teaches them life valuable lessons and everything. But if it sounds restful to you to, you know, make something a little extra fancy in the kitchen, or homemade granola bars is what I should be doing right now. I need to do them. I want to take some to a friend who's having surgery on Saturday, but I'll probably do that an evening sometime. I'll talk about evenings later. But yeah, just use this time for something creative, restful, refilling. It's just like a little mini, and you might not get 3 hours like I do. You might just get 2 or even 1. But take that little break and you worked hard for it, you know? Have something in the back of your head all day that you can look forward to in the afternoon, whether that's a special coffee drink or a solo snuggle with your newborn baby. It's just a great little siesta in the afternoon. So for me, I'm gonna sit down on my laptop, I'm gonna edit, get creative, work on a thumbnail for another YouTube video going out. My kids will come home in the middle of that and interrupt me, and I will chat with them about their school day, maybe get them a little snack, and then they'll go off into their own little areas, go play outside, whatever, have some free play time because they need that. And you know, if you want to scrub your floors on your hands and knees and listen to music and whatever while your kids are napping, go for it. I'm not making rules about this area. I'm just giving you options. I'm trying to help you whittle down your homemaking to just a few hours. Those crucial morning hours when you can be the most productive, so that you don't have to be moving and doing all day long. I don't do that. Like I said, I chose my own poison, which I'm not regretting at all. Okay, the kids are all home playing happily, and I am getting started on supper here. It's actually almost 5:15. I'm getting started a little bit late because Josh is actually going to be home a little bit late today. He comes home between, I would say, 5 and 6:30. It really can vary. So I haven't done this in a while, but I actually have 3 pans out. One with steaks, which I'm just going to season with garlic, olive oil, salt, and pepper. And then I have the potato wedges that I already cut. And I'm just gonna sprinkle those with paprika, seasoned salt, garlic powder, salt, pepper, maybe a little bit of parsley, fresh parsley at the end since I have it on my windowsill back here. And then I'm gonna try, one of you guys, she has a TikTok account. She tried some of my recipes already on there, but From My Counter, it's called, and she made roasted green beans, which we love green beans. We eat them at least once or twice a week. She roasts them on a pan in the oven, and I was like, well, that's gotta be good. We're gonna try this. So she does seasoned salt, sumac, which I don't have. I'm not sure what that even tastes like. Smoked paprika, and then some garlic powder and minced onion. So I'm excited to see how this is. I guess everything's gonna get a little coating of oil on it tonight. Whereas some nights I feel like I cook with a lot of butter. Last night we had corn with butter and pork chops and buttered noodles. So yeah, a lot of butter last night, and now tonight's a lot of olive oil. But I need to get these potatoes in the oven first, so I'm gonna do that. Oh, by the way, the hero of these potato wedges is coarse salt, and then also I sprinkle some Parmesan cheese on at the end too. They're just so good. And you know how French fries are just not that great in the air fryer or in the oven? And I don't like to deep fry, it just takes so much time and it's a mess. Remember, I don't like to cook a lot. This is my cooking time, like 10 minutes, literally. And everything else is just oven time or grill time. But here you get the crispy potato, craving satisfied, but you don't have to do fries. These will crisp up really nicely at 400. Paprika. And then I lied. We are gonna put a couple pats of butter on the top here too. I cannot wait to tell you all about my kitchen hacks. I think that's in next week's video. I do not cook hardcore that often. It's pretty amazing. And not because we're going out to eat, which we definitely do on Friday nights, but the rest of the time, I'm in the kitchen, but not for very long. And I can't wait to share how I do that, how I meal plan. It's just super, I don't know, it's what works for us. So I can't wait to share that next week. That's
You want to dump some seasoning in there? I think you want more
just
butter.
some salt, pepper, and garlic.
Knife. I'm gonna chop off more butter.
They're gonna be good. Garlic, salt, and pepper, butter. I was just saying how I'm not cooking with a lot of butter tonight, and that's a ton of butter.
A barbecue rub would be good on here.
Yeah, you could.
And I never moved from this spot. Hey, look! You forgot about this. We have it.
Look at that plate. Oh my goodness, eating like kings. Here we are, the end of the day, full circle. The house is not completely picked up. I just turned the lights off and came upstairs. To be honest, I love all of our routines and methods, and I love our bedtime. It's such a cozy little ritual in the evenings. We hang out with each of the kids a little bit, put them to bed, and then they're allowed to read quietly in their room just to wind down for about 10 minutes before they go to sleep around 9. And then I get my shower. I get to watch my documentary or my YouTube video or whatever I was looking forward to all day in the shower, and do my skincare and wind up in bed somewhere around 9:30. I rarely am asleep by 10. Usually it's more like 10:30. But yeah, those are my days, 6:30 to 10:30. I do not love our evening routine. I don't really have a lot to teach you from it because I'm kind of caught in this juxtaposition of, should I be productive? Should I be relaxed? I often like to go on a walk when Josh gets home if there's any light left in the day, and that didn't happen today. Tuesday nights I go to the gym. I have a Bible study once a month. Once in a while Josh will go golf simulating with his buddies. But yeah, most evenings in the winter especially, we're home, and I'm just not sure the best use of my evening time. I kind of just like lean into whatever energy I'm feeling. Last night I was working on the puzzle for a little bit. Tonight I was just doing odds and ends for YouTube and finishing up some laundry and things like that. But yeah, let me know, what do you like to do from supper time till bedtime? How does that look for you? I just feel like it's a hodgepodge of all the things: signing homework, practicing Bible memory, all of that. Yeah, it's just really not my favorite time of day, but I love once the kids are tucked in bed, I get to give them a kiss, tell them good night, pray with them. I've been trying to read in the evenings a little bit. I have a book by my bedside usually, but that's a new thing for me, so I can't say if I really love that or not. Often I'll just scroll on my phone since I'm really not on it much during the day. I will see you guys all tomorrow. I want to take you along on my little Valentine's play date with the pop and the PJs, so I don't know, I think that'd be fun to show you and maybe inspire you a little bit. Everybody's gonna be here in 10 minutes. I'm in my PJs. They are the best, coziest. Oh my goodness. I'll put my link down below. They are a sponsor on our podcast, but they are Cozy Earth pajamas. Oh my goodness. Valentine's Day gift? Yes, please. Anyway, it's just girls today, so PJs are fine. I'm hoping the kids come in their PJs. I imagine they will. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be very cozy. So I really didn't have to do a ton, although it felt like I was getting ready for all week and just like the bits and cracks of my life. I decorated the Valentine's tree. I got together a pizza bar with all the toppings and the little heart pizza crust. They're so cute. And then they're all bringing something, and then I did the soda bar. So let me show you around the soda bar. If you would like to replicate this, I did not buy anything new. I was looking online and watching all these different reels and stuff. I was like, oh, I could buy these little special dishes, and I could buy, anyway, I did not buy anything besides the food. And I did splurge on the fun rounded cups. I mean, because that's the star of the show anyway, right? I'll link these. They're from Amazon. And we have Pebble Ice, which is always very bougie from my Pebble Ice machine. So here's the whole overlook. I don't really love how the decorations are popping out the top, but I really don't want to take them down. It's just too much work. But this says so delicious, and that was fun to do. Down here, we have a sink in our coffee bar, so that was nice. I just filled it with ice. We have Canada Dry, Coke, Sprite, and Dr. Pepper, and then seltzer water. And I did all mini cans because, you know, we don't need that much soda. That's crazy. And plus you can try multiple drinks then too. And we have lots of little kids coming. So here we have all the fruit for the fruit water and stuff, and also the Shirley Temples. You're gonna need limes, cherries. I made homemade vanilla syrup and homemade coconut syrup. Oh, wait, in reverse. Vanilla, coconut with cane sugar. And then we have grenadine syrup that I bought at Walmart. Also, this is coconut cream. Never used that before, so I'm excited to try that today. I love coconut. And in the back there, I have the whipping cream and the half and half. I don't know how reachable everything is, but this is the space I have, so that is what it is. Here is my little printable. I'll try to put it on my website. I don't know if you actually, I mean, you could have so much fun making this all into different drinks, but we have the Shirley Temple, the Texas Tab, a fruit water that's a little more healthy. I'll probably make this for my kids. They don't need to have a lot of sugar. Classic Dirty Coke and the raspberry cream. I will hold still here for just a second in case you want to screenshot that, but I will put the printable on my website. Actually, this is supposed to be Raspberry Dream, so I will fix that on the website's version. Here we have the Pebble Ice, and then all these syrups that I have from like spritzer parties and stuff. They can mix and match with them. The prickly pear is really good in like a lemonade. Blue raspberry, oh my, I hope my kids don't see that. Peppermint, orange, peach, lime, and in the back there we have strawberry, which tastes very fake in my opinion. Get the Monin brand if you can, because I think they use less artificial colors and stuff. And then here, like I said, is the Amazon cups, which I can link. And then they didn't come with straws. I thought it would come with individually wrapped straws, but they weren't in the box. So I need to figure that out. So I just got out my basic straws. But yeah, there's the whole overlook. There's some flowers in the background there. Yeah, it's gonna be a mess till the end because they're all gonna be making their own drinks. But I don't know. The only thing more exciting than this would be a coffee bar. But it wouldn't be near as colorful or cute, let's be honest. Okay, this is so cute. I ran to Dollar Tree and got a bunch of little things and turned this into a Valentine's Day tree. I mean, it is so cute. This was actually a table runner that I cut up into ribbons. I got like 9 ribbons out of one little table runner. You have the little heart picks. I actually thought it does look tacky, like, let's be honest, but the kids are gonna love it. My guest just left. I am still in my PJs. Oh my goodness, what a cozy, I can't get anything done now. I was trying to clean up after they left and I'm just like, I am not motivated to work. I would say it went off without a hitch. There was one drink spill and the guest of honor was not able to come. Her little guy came down with the flu. Oh, I was so bummed, but I guess that's life. But there were still 5 moms that were able to come. We had lots of little kids running around. We had plenty of food. You know, I love to debrief after I host a party, what went wrong. Honestly, everything went great, except that we forgot to take a picture of all of us, which was such a bummer. It was so cute seeing all the little kids running around in their PJs. And anyway, it's a reminder, I'm so excited for our cabin weekend coming up. But anyway, that is what it's all about. Carving out time for the things that you actually want to do, real life. And if our homemaking monopolizes all of our time and just fills in every little crack, we're not gonna have time for things like hosting. And I really didn't do much for this party. Like, if I did not have YouTube, I could have done so much more because I would have had all that free time. But you know, that's a sacrifice of deciding to be a side hustle mom type of thing. So that's, yeah, that's my choice. As they say, the task expands to fill the time allotted. So if you're allotting yourself all day and all week to get your housework done, it's gonna take that amount of time. So I know it sounded kind of crazy at the beginning of this video when I said to consider cutting your housework time in half. I think you can do it. I think a lot more people can do it than realize. And I know there's so many. I just want to give a hug to those of you that are really in the true trenches right now. That's really tough. I get it. Especially if your energy allotment for the day is not even normal. I totally understand. I've been there. I know you might not think that. I always act like I'm so energetic on here, but there have been times where my energy has been very depleted and just getting the essential tasks done for the day is just about all you can do. But that comes back to what I was saying about doing all those essentials first thing when you have the most energy, and even just trying to be done by lunch with all the essentials is maybe a great start. That is your homework assignment for this video. Pick a 2-hour slot of your day, whatever you think is going to be the best for your family and where you have the most energy, and just treat it like a race. Fly around, tidy up, do the laundry, wash the dishes, clear all the surfaces, put away things, run from room to room, all the things, and see what you can get done in 2 hours. And get get your kids involved, or maybe they're playing happily. Maybe that's the time you want to try it out first. But I like to do other things when my kids are napping, so I wouldn't recommend it over nap time. So yeah, there you go. Pick 2 hours. What time is it going to be? I want to hear down below in the comments. What's your 2 hour slot going to be? And then I would be curious to know if it took you a lot less time than you thought it would. So yeah, let me know. Okay, we need to break open a geode here. This is the one for today. Remembering that we are opening these up just to remind us that, you know, some days we feel like we're these basic, boring rocks. There's not much to us. There's not a lot of interest or depth because we just feel like little shells of humans sometimes. You know, we're just washing little faces and emptying dishwashers again and again, but that is not true. We are whole, complete humans with absolutely so many different facets. We are interesting people with hobbies and interests, and you take the time that you're gonna be creating by simplifying your housework without the sacrifice, you will be surprised what you uncover inside. Look at this one today, guys. She is so pretty. What a beaut. My husband says it's fake. Let me know down below. I think it's real. He says it's fake, but wow. Absolutely beautiful. It literally almost looks liquid, but it's a rock. That is amazing. The prettiest one yet. Look at that. And on my favorite video too. So anyway, thank you guys so much for being here. Definitely come back next week because we're gonna be in the kitchen, and I have well over a baker's dozen amount of tips that I wanna share with you guys, and kitchen rhythms and all the things. So I can't wait to see you guys then. New and experienced cooks are welcome because I have something for all of us. I will see you all in that one. Bye everyone.